name's Chris Baker with Baker DMM, and this is our video coaching newsletter. The topic of today's newsletter is going to be a concerned daughter. And before we jump into our discussion, I want to read you a quote. The quote states, "The essence of love is concern," and that was stated by Nirmala Srivastava. And I thought that was a good quote regarding this newsletter, because we're going to be talking about a client of ours and her oldest daughter, and I think the daughter was really concerned, and that's how she was expressing her love, being concerned for her mom. And really this relationship that we have with this particular client goes back almost 2 years when we were first introduced to this woman through a social worker. This particular client of ours, her husband had handled all the money. He had passed away in 2014, and then all those responsibilities came to this woman. But around that same time, she was diagnosed with early stages Parkinson's. And so it was just a really challenging time for her, particularly in 2015. And when we first met, she said, "This sounds wonderful. You can help me with the mail review and the bill pay and monitoring my accounts, but I'm not quite ready because I've got so many other things I'm working on." Well, we finally started working with her in 2016. We stayed in touch. By spring of 2016, she said, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'd like to get your help." And really, at that point, we started, going through our normal process with her as a client, and really mainly just working with her. And it's important to note, before we started working together, her oldest daughter actually really was kind of encouraging her mom to work with us, which I think was wonderful, because that's what we should all be doing. We're all here learning, trying to figure out how either we can help our loved ones, our close friends, neighbors, or even ourselves, and to help us protect our finances and basically our money. If we ever get to a point where we aren't able to manage day-to-day items on our own. And so we worked with this person for, I'd say roughly 6 to 8 months. And then unfortunately, her health started to go downhill a little bit further as the year progressed. She had the same client had a stroke. And then she was in the hospital for, I'd say roughly almost 2 months. During that time, we found out her youngest daughter had been trying to get into her financial accounts to fraudulently obtain her money, and we had to deal with that. We had to report that issue to Adult Protective Services, which ultimately was handled, and the daughter kind of backed away and knew that people were watching her. And our client finally was able to get out of the hospital, and she actually moved back to her apartment, or her home. And so she gets back to her home, and at this point, she's still trying to recover, and she was having a hard time getting better physically, but she was doing the best she could. She fought terribly hard to just regain her independence. But ultimately, a few months later, she thought it would be best, and I think along with her family, that she moved back home to get more constant care. And so she moved in with her oldest daughter, I should say, and that was earlier this year. And at that point, really we started focusing our communications more with the oldest daughter, and that's where this email is really about communication. And for all of us out there that are going to either need help ourselves, or we're going to help with our family, the problem in this email and this newsletter is that we're helping a client, a senior, and now we're transitioning from helping them to working with the children, and in this case the oldest daughter is a power of attorney, and transitioning from that one point of contact to another. And communication is really important. And at first, this daughter, even though in the beginning she encouraged her mom to work with us, she was still concerned about her mom. And pretty early on, she, particularly was very questioning of me and how we were helping her mom, and had a few different, various questions and concerns. And so we had to go through, and actually I personally went through, and she had sent me actually this email that I've been viewing. And I mean, we went through a fairly lengthy email exchange, and I went through and explained, well, this is what we've been doing, in the first few months, and then, months 1 to 3 and 3 to 6, and then so on. And, I went over a few key things with her, particularly her mom's net worth. In the last 6 to 7 months, the mom's net worth had gone up. Went back through the last 6 or 7 months and said there have been no bank overdraft charges. There have been no bank fees. In looking at, the mom's budget and saying, okay, this is where we overspent. This is where we underspent. This is, these are the different areas where money is going, for expenses for the car, or maybe it was groceries, or maybe it was utilities, and really educating the daughter on all the work that we have been doing for the mom in particular. And, even it's going as far as helping the mom, the daughter, understand that even with the mom's credit score, but before it was at one point, and after the last 6-7 months that we had worked with her, the credit score had gone up. And, really, I guess you could say that's almost identifying the value that we're providing for, this particular client, and really, and for her financial situation, including, helping keep up with the mail, and helping pay her bills, and monitor her accounts to make sure no one's taking advantage of, like her youngest daughter tried to do at one point, making sure bills were paid correctly, acting as a liaison between her community, the people in that community, and the other different vendors that she purchased services from. And really, once the daughter, once we went into detail on those different aspects and those different things that we were doing for her mom, she realized that, wow, they're doing a lot for my mom, and she's in good hands, and she was getting now the monthly financial statement to understand her mom's position and understand where everything's going. And it really brought her peace of mind. And just like she was concerned about her mom, she knew that as a business and as a service provider, we were also concerned by her mom. And like I mentioned in that quote, that's where the love comes through, and you express that through concern about the well-being of your loved ones. And the daughter expressed that, and so did we. And even though for us it's not a family member, it kind of is a family member in a way. It's an extension of our business, and it's someone we're helping to protect. And from that point forward, we had a really nice, mutually beneficial relationship. And and I know particularly for this daughter, it was a very challenging time for her. As a busy professional, she works for a nonprofit. She's got her own family, she's got her own life, and now she's taking in her mom, and her mom is not doing well. And in addition to all of her responsibilities, and in addition to all the daughter's responsibilities, now she's really becoming literally the primary caretaker for her mother. The mother's moved in, the mother's staying at the house. They're having home care come in to help take care of the mom. She needs to try to help with the finances. So I think in this case, just like we get help in many different areas of our life, for this daughter, having our help to help keep everything on track with the finances was a huge benefit to her. And I know that, and unfortunately, ultimately, our client earlier this year, a couple months ago, she ended up passing away, unfortunately, which was very sad moment. And we were very sorry to hear that for the family, because this wonderful woman, she was tough as nails and really fought hard and gave everything she could. And ultimately, just for all of us, the great equalizer in life is death. We're all going to at some point pass away, unfortunately. Ultimately, it was her time. And right before she passed away, the daughter, told us actually, in this email chain, that her mom was very grateful for our help and our assistance, over the last year and a half. And that really was rewarding for us and for me, because that's why we're here. We're here to help people. We're here to just bring them peace of mind and that financial aspect of their life, so they can focus on other things, and whether it's a hobby or even their health, focusing on trying to get better. We know that we're doing our job so they don't have to worry about the money, because when your health starts to go, whether it's cognitively or physically, worrying about money is really the last thing you should have to worry about. But unfortunately, at this time, that's still, for a lot of people out there, that's a big concern of theirs in their later years of lives. And so we're here today, and we're trying to change that, to get the word out, to get people the right help that they need regarding financial services. And so the issue today was a concerned daughter. And the solution and the recap here is that to always be in good communication. And if you're a family member helping take care of a loved one or a parent, And whether you're doing the work directly or you're getting help from a financial services company like ours, the key is to just get involved as much as you can, be involved, ask questions, and your service provider should also reciprocate in that and be just as thorough and as dedicated and concerned in their responses to you regarding your loved one, and that should bring you peace of mind as well. So if you found this video helpful or interesting, please feel free to share it on your social media channels. Share it with family, friends, or really whoever you might think would benefit from viewing. And if you ever have a question for me that you'd like me to answer in one of our newsletters, just shoot me an email, put together 1 to 2 paragraphs, 200 to 300 words, and I'll try to answer that question in one of our upcoming newsletters. And if you'd ever like to get my help personally, the quickest and easiest way is to go to our website, www.bakerdmm.com, and scroll to the top of the page, click on Request an Appointment, fill out your information, hit Submit, and I will be in touch with you in 24 to 48 hours to schedule an appointment. And until then, I will talk to you all soon.